Major altcoin levels are now being broken. Is this just a bear trap? We're going to cover this and more on today's episode of Studama's Trades. All right, guys. Well, welcome to today's show. I want to cover what altcoins are doing. Of course, you heard the bluff in the intro, but I want to show you what's occurring here on the altcoin charts and just to give a word of caution, I guess, more than anything. Let's get right to it. Well, this is our Bitcoin chart. I might as well start here because I did put in a trade. You guys are aware, those of you who follow me, that I went all in on Bitcoin. Now, why did I do this despite my somewhat seemingly bearish sentiment in the last video? Well, like I said, I still believe we still are bullish and there still is room for Bitcoin to run. Now, I do think 48,000 will provide significant, like serious resistance. And at that point, we may wick through and go all the way up to 50, 52,000. But I think the selling will ensue once we get confirmation of these Bitcoin ETF approvals. And if we don't get confirmation of the Bitcoin ETF approvals, then down we go, and I have a tight stop ready to liquidate all of my Bitcoin should that news occur. But be prepared, as I said in my last video. I'll put the link to that in the description below. Be prepared for lots of volatility and expect the unexpected. This is just a trade based upon the news, all right? I rarely do this, but my charts are showing me there is still room for Bitcoin to run, and I do think we are at a mid-cycle top. So despite the ETF approval and having coming up in April, I think we are going to be provided with some serious resistance. And remember, guys, when big money gets involved in anything that you like to trade on the market, they're not going to make all the retailers rich. They're not just going to do that. Their interest is their own fat pockets. And so to make their pockets fat, they have to turn you upside down, shake out all your bags, and grab those bags for themselves. And so there could be some sort of event. It may not have anything to do with crypto, but in the end, it will impact crypto, and that will cause lots of fear in the market. That will, tip all the retailers upside down, shake out their pockets, and guess who grabs those bags? It's all of these corporate entities that are now entering the market. And there could be some sort of event possibly in coordination with each other. Big money often does that. It's us little guys that often are left holding, the lost bag. All right. So be very careful when big money gets into the situation. Technicals are not and I'm a big technical guy. You guys know that's all I do here. But technicals are not as sound as they once were. All right. Lots of times big money will do the opposite. Anyways, all that said, I'm betting that obviously ETFs will be approved. I'm betting we get a nice little 10% kick. And then after that, I'm betting we sell the news. All right, let's now jump down to our altcoin charts, and I'm going to show you what I'm seeing on almost all the altcoin charts. Let's start down here with DOGE. Okay, so yeah, this is a perfect example. Remember, first I talked about breaking this support level on the RSI. All right, so down here, this support level is very important, and it's kind of a preliminary indicator. it leads price. All right, so we broke this support on our RSI, and then let me get another arrow here and go to the price chart. You can see it was days after, but DOGE broke this level of support. All right, so we've had this intact since September and October in some cases on both Bitcoin and all of the altcoins. We've had this level of support, which is now today, yesterday, and the day before with the flash crash starting to be broken everywhere. So I'm just going to go through this real quick and show you what we're looking at. I guess we'll hop up to Jasmine, although that's kind of an anomaly, but same thing there. All right, I don't really need to repeat myself on all these charts, but I will go through these and just circle and show you how this all took place. All right, remember I said the RSI precedes the price chart, and in this case we broke below that about a week before we broke through the price chart. Now some of these charts we broke that RSI level 2 weeks before, some of them just days before, but the case can be made for all that the RSI support preceded price. And so now you can see altcoins are breaking through these levels. I'm just going to go through these real quick, not going to make a big long video, but just to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, this is an exception. This is optimism. Optimism is still way above its price level. Does that mean it's still bullish? Well, I would argue no, because you can see down here on the RSI chart, we have broken down below our support level. So eventually price will follow. All right, ADA, Cardano. All right, same thing. We broke first, and I don't have this extended far enough, but we first broke the red ascending support level, and now we've just broke through another support level. That's this black one underneath. That's very significant because price will follow, and eventually I think we are going to break this support level as well. As I've stated all along, I've been consistent with this analysis here, guys. I stated it while everybody was mega uber bullish, and I have not wavered from that. I just think there's way too much hype, and guess who is going to take advantage of that hype? It is the big fellas that are entering the market. All right, Matic, same thing here. 2 levels of support broken on the RSI, and now price is following up here on the price chart. And you can see I had that red arrow drawn way before. We did break down below, and then we came back above. That was a bear trap. All right, let me just erase my scribblings here. We'll go on to the next chart. Excuse me, guys, still a little bit of a cough. Okay, Arbitrum is still bullish. All right, both on the RSI and on the price chart. Now, does that mean I think this is a coin you can enter? Not really, because look how overextended that price is, guys. And look at the RSI. We're up into, we topped out at the 80 territory. Up here, we're overextended. We're going to at least come back down and revisit this support line. Now, in this case, it may not break. We may hit support down here on the RSI first. This is what you watch. Have this drawn out on your daily. Have this support line drawn out, and you can see all the green circles. We bounced off of that. So should we bounce off of that? Well, then our level of support here will probably hold as well. But again, I'm not interested in this thing at this price. I am a holder of Arbitrum, by the way, but I am not trading at this level. There's no way I'm going to enter up here. All right. On to Apecoin. Apecoin just cannot get past this level here, this channel of resistance. All right, and it has broken down through both supports, red and black. All right, so very bearish. On and on we go. All right, GMX, although it's not broken below the price level here, some time ago you can see we broke below our support on the RSI. So this is an example of one that's taking a little more time to break that price level, But eventually, guys, I do believe it's been consistent in every other chart. This price level structure is going to break. So a big reason, and I'm just going to hop back to the intro chart here and speak to the camera. A big reason why I have not been entering altcoin trades is because this is what I've seen in advance. I know that at some time there was a pullback. In fact, you can see in my post, I called for that about 3 weeks ago. I called for a 10 to 15% pullback. Well, we've gotten that at least. And I called for 10 to 15% because I didn't know whether we were going to break the price level structure at that point or whether we were going to stay above and do another pump and then dump. All right. But you can see the price level structure has broken on most of these charts. And therefore, we're going to get more than a 10 to 15% dump. It's looking like, at least that's what the altcoins are showing me. And that coincides or correlates with the data that I'm seeing on the Bitcoin chart. Although, like I said, Bitcoin has some room to run, and I'm taking that gamble that we will get a 10% pop upon ETF approval, should we get the ETF approval. And that's not guaranteed either, by the way. But I'm going to play that out. I'm going to sell at 48,000, even though we could spike to 50, 52,000. I'm going to play this cautiously because I know what happens when big money gets involved. Back to the charts here. Let's run through just a couple more here. Power is an anomaly. Look at this, guys. But again, power is not one that I would enter here. We're at a big level of resistance finally. And look at this RSI. We're up into 90 territory, almost hitting its head on resistance here in the RSI territory as well. So power has been popping, but who can predict that? I mean, the big money players that are moving this, maybe, yeah. But, you know, the charts don't show it, other than there's one little... there's actually a couple little indicators here, and you could have taken a bet, and I almost did, but I just wasn't feeling comfortable. All right, see this? We have not broken the price structure. All right, and that I should change that to green because that's a bullish sign. And then also down here on the RSI, I'm going to change that to green as well because we bounced off of that. All right, so same thing could happen. What was the other one we were looking at? Was it optimism? That had not broken. Oh, it was Arbitrum. All right, so Arbitrum, same thing could happen with Arbitrum in the future. We might not break that RSI. RSI is key, and that is the preliminary indicator. So we bounce off the RSI, price will probably not break, and that might be a good entry if you're looking for an altcoin. But that's what happened here with power. See this? We hit the RSI support level, which has, this one came all the way from June. All right, so this has been intact for 7+ months. And the price structure has been intact, of course, since October. Like most of these, September, October. All right. So that was the leading indicator. And here again, it proves to be the leading indicator. If I was going to enter an altcoin here, I would short power. I would short power at this level or just above. All right. We haven't quite reached resistance on the RSI level, but very soon power is going to come collapsing down. These kind of candles do not hold up. All right. You need structure there for the price to uphold. All right. And you know, I'm not going to keep repeating myself, but you can see RSI broke first, then God's price level broke. Lun C broke the RSI, has not broken the level of the price structure level yet, but that should follow. All right. So on and on we go throughout these altcoin charts. And that is essentially why I have not entered altcoins at this point. And if you want to trade, you know, it's still a risky trade and still a bet. But entering into Bitcoin here is one of those, you know, you want to keep your stop loss tight so that you don't lose too much in case we go the other way. And we very well could go the other way, but we still have room to run to 48,000. All right. And that is my video for this weekend. Peace, y'all.